In this video, we'll explore boards and create our first one. A board is a workspace designed to organize your team's work. It looks like a cardboard. You have columns, which are the stages a task goes through, and cards, which in Qamaq are called tickets. You move them from one column to the next as the work progresses. Think of it as a to-do list, but one that also shows you which stage each task is in. The idea is simple. At a glance, you can see what your entire team is working on, what's about to start, what's in progress, and what's being wrapped up. A board consists of three pieces: the board itself, its columns, and the tickets that move between them. For example, let's create a board for the team that handles the firm's mergers and acquisitions cases. From the dashboard, in the left-hand menu, open Workspace. We enter and select the Board submenu. When you enter Boards, you might expect to see all your boards together on a single screen, like in other tools. Qamaq handles it differently. At the top, you have a selector to choose which board to work with, one at a time. In fact, there's one by default, My Runs. This is a special board that Qamaq manages on its own, so we'll set it aside. On the right, you'll find the New Board button to create your own, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Click on New Board to open the Create New Board wizard, which is a three-step process. The first step is Basic Information. In the Board Name field, enter the name of your board. For this example, we'll name it M&A Deal Board. Below is the Ticket Prefix, and it's important to understand this well. Every ticket you create in this board will have an identity with a short identifier, and this prefix is its first part. Notice that Qamaq automatically fills one in based on the name. In our case, it set it to Made. You can edit this prefix, and here comes the important part that the template itself warns you about. It cannot be changed later. Since this is your only chance to choose, let's intentionally set a clear one. We'll change it to Deal. This way, the tickets will be Deal 1, Deal 2, and so on. Next is an optional description to clarify what the board is responsible for. For example, track and manage the firm's active M&A deals, from due diligence to closing. Next is the board type, which defines who the board is for. It can be personal or belong to a project, a team, a department, or a service. Since this is the team's board for handling deals, we'll select Team. Once you select Team, a selector appears right below. Which team can view this board? We'll choose M&A Deal Team. With that, everyone on this team can view and work on the board from the start, without you having to invite anyone manually. And if someone leaves the team, they automatically lose access. Let's move on to the second step, Methodology and Settings, where you choose how the board works. Qamaq offers several methodologies, but in this series, we'll be working with Kanban, which is the continuous flow of cards that guides each ticket from the start. You move it through the columns at its own pace. We select it, and below is Visibility, which determines who can view the board. Since this is for the team, we'll leave it set to Team. The third step is just a review. Below, you'll find a board summary that displays everything you selected: the name, the prefix, the type, the methodology, and the visibility. We review it to confirm that everything is correct, and then click the Create Board button. And that's it. Qamaq has created the board and takes us directly to it. Notice that it already comes with its columns set up: Backlog, To Do, In Progress, and Done. These are the default stages of a Kanban, and they represent the journey of a task, from being on the pending list to what needs to be done, then to what is being worked on, and finally, what is completed in Done. These default columns work for most cases, and if your team operates differently, you can adjust them from the board settings. But a board with empty columns doesn't tell a story yet. What brings it to life are the tickets. Let's start by creating one. The backlog column is where new tasks come in. We click on the button with the plus sign. The ticket window opens. As you can see, a ticket can store several details: the ticket name, its description, the ticket type, priority, assignee, date, and estimated hours. It can also store attachments and subtasks. Don't worry about all that for now. The only required field is the title. We'll enter a title, for example, And then click the Create Ticket button. You can fill in the rest whenever you need to. And there's our ticket. Our ticket, with the identifier Deal 1, appears in the backlog column. Now comes the most important part of Kanban. Pay close attention to this. The ticket does not move on its own. You move it manually. You grab it with your mouse and drag it between columns, just like you would drag a card on a physical board or in Trello. We can move it from backlog to, for example, to do. And that's it. The card is now in the next stage. With this, we close the loop we opened at the beginning. You now have the three pieces of a board working together: the board, its columns, and your first ticket moving between them. You are the one who decides when the work moves to the next stage. From here, you can keep adding tickets and managing the board to see at a glance what your entire team is working on.